Hi, everybody. It's Susan. How are you? I was just cleaning and came across my very dusty bedside table and wanted to share with you the books that are there because the last one I'll show you is a great segue into a Q&A with an editor that I just did. It's on Beyond Your Blog, and you can go and see how to submit to this publication. So in the meantime, I wanted to show you some of the other things on my bedside table so you can see what it is I actually read. But I will put in the caveat that I read very little um, at night, which are my bedside table things. Most of what I read is online during the day, but at night I stay up for maybe 10 minutes before I fall asleep immediately. So I'm really not the best reader. I used to read so much more when I was in my younger days, but I don't read as much as I would like. However, I have things there that I could be reading and that I read from a little bit of each night. So the first thing is Brain Teen. That is the annual print publication that Brainchild does. You can see it's really nice glossy color pages and everything. So they do that print publication annually, and this is the 2016 Brain Teen, and I'm making my way through it. There's some great stories in there. But the 2017 one will be published next year, and there's currently an open call for that. So if you have a story, you can submit to Brainchild for Brain Teen 2017. I know submissions are open through December 30th. They might have even been extended, but just go with December 30th for now, and you can check their submittable to see how long those submissions are open. The next thing on my nightstand, this is the thickest one. This is intimidating for a 10-minute a night reader. The Power of Gratitude, Chicken Soup for the Soul. My hand, I have a claw hand. There we go. Chicken Soup for the Soul. Mary McLaurin, who's a group member, sent this to me because she has a story in there and she heard about the call through Beyond Your Blog, and her story is awesome. As soon as I got it, I flipped open and read her story specifically. It's great, and so I'm excited to read some of the other stories because hers was really inspirational, and I know a lot of these other ones are too. So as soon as I can keep my eyes open a little bit longer, I'm going to start going through some of those other stories. Thank you, Mary. That's awesome. I love getting mail from people. It's so fun. Your Guide to a Happier Family. That is an older book. Gosh, I think this might have come out at least 20 years ago, maybe significantly more than that. But yeah, I think it might have come out in the 80s or 90s. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's kind of a classic in the family psychology, I guess, area. And I don't think I have a miserable family, but I do have kids that whine and are anxious and things like that. So I got some really good tips in here. It's not really even a tips book. It's more of a story, and it gives you examples of how these women kind of changed how they communicated with their families. So I've been enjoying that. I have read that whole book. I just have it there to refer to. Oh, yes. Elmer, okay? This is about an elephant. There apparently, now that I've looked, are 9 million other Elmer books because Elmer did so well, I guess. And my son loves this. He's a really great reader, so he reads it to himself at night. And there I saw him reading Elmer the other night, and so I said, well, what's this book about? He's so into it. He wants other Elmer books. So my husband said, well, you should read it, and that's what I did last night. This was my 10 minutes well spent. Oh, yes, Nancy Drew. Clue of the Tapping Heels. I don't know if it's even a good one, but I do love Nancy. Started rereading the Nancy Drew books this summer just as some mindless fluff, and that's what it is, but it's wonderful mindless fluff. I think I got through number 9, and then I gave my mom my Christmas list because if you're 41 and your mom wants a Christmas list, you can give her one. It's awesome because she gets you a lot of stuff on it. So I gave my mom my Christmas list for numbers 9 and 10, which are the next two I need to read. And so now I have to wait because I can only read them in order. I cannot go out of order. Technically, I could go out of order because Nancy Drew's not, super, you don't really have to read one to read the next, but I don't like to go out of order. So here's number 16 that I got at the used bookstore for $1. And it's waiting. I'm not reading that right now, but I'll get to it. Mom for the Holidays. I'm in this book. Lisa Nolan and Rachel Demas put this great book together with all these moms who wrote stories about, there you go, love, laughter, and tantrums at Christmas and Hanukkah. Mine is about the 1984 version of A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott, which I claim is the best. it's kind of a silly little story, but there's some great ones in here. I just started it and I'm making my way through all the stories, and I'm thinking about who I can get this for, because it's really good for like my mom friends who, kind of have their own holiday stories too and can relate. Oh, here is a bookmark from my kids. It's a card, but I use it as a bookmark. You are the best mom, Aravi, ever, from Liana and Rocco. That's my bookmark. And then last but not least, where is it? True story. Look, it's as big as my head. It's slightly smaller than my head. Most things are. I have a very large head. But yeah, it came in the mail from Miss Hattie Fletcher over at Creative Nonfiction, and it was in a cute little envelope. I was like, what is this little thing? It's like a mini Oreo. It's so tiny and cute. And it's bigger than a mini Oreo, but you could read it while you were eating mini Oreos or mini Triscuits or something, some small foods, when you read this cute little small book. It's about 40 pages. Creative Nonfiction, who has, of course, their own magazine, Creative Nonfiction, is publishing this monthly. I'm having a hard time coordinating myself. There we go. They're publishing True Story every month. Each month it has one author's long-form nonfiction story in it. It has to be a true story to be considered. And this one's awesome. I can't even tell you what it's about. You can see the record there. That has something to do with it, but I won't be a spoiler. So it's a great story. Amazing. I read it in 2 nights because 40 pages, that was like a major undertaking for me. But yeah, it took me 2 nights. My husband wants it next, so I'm gonna share it with him. But great story. I actually, the next day after I finished it, I went and subscribed to True Story, which I have one other magazine subscription, and it's to Food Network magazine. So I am not a subscriber of things, but this was awesome, and I was like, this would be really cool to get one little short thing that I can read each month that's different, and that kind of, it's not always me picking out the same kinds of stuff. It's going to be something different every month. So I decided to subscribe to it. And what I wanted to talk to you about was that Hattie is on Beyond Your Blog doing a Q&A for Creative Nonfiction, and specifically True Story, to tell you what they're looking for, how to submit, all that good stuff. It's very popular, as you can imagine. Everybody wants to have their own little book basically published. So they get lots of submissions, but you may have that really great story. So I hope some of you all submit and check it out. It's awesome. And that's it for me. So I hope everybody's doing well. I will put the link for Hattie's interview Q&A in the comments. Thanks.